Kris Dunn. Post-2023 All-Star break, if there's one guy reviving his career, look no further than the 6'3" point guard from New London, Connecticut. After a disappointing career derailed by numerous injuries, the soon-to-be 29-year-old has been absolutely balling for the Utah Jazz as of late. On his second 10-day deal, safe to say, Dunn's been exceeding expectations, proving he's a lot better than many backups in the league and showing why he's not done. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. For those who've already forgotten, Dunn was seen as one of the most promising point guards, super explosive, burst of speed, drives to the basket, drew plenty of similarities to John Wall, more of a throwback 2000s type athletic point guard with insane defense. Dunn was somebody deemed as a future multiple-time defensive teamer, a decent pull-up shot in college, a good floater. Many truly believed Dunn was going to be the best point guard in the 2016 class, had more hype than Jamal Murray, DeJounte Murray, and Malcolm Brogdon. Given what we know now, all those guys would have went ahead of him. Being one of the forgotten 5th overall picks, the New London high school sensation was #1 player in the state of Connecticut, ranked 23rd in the ESPN's top 100. The McDonald's All-American dealt with countless of injuries, started all the way back to his freshman year of college, needed surgery to fix a torn labrum, played 25 games, team failed to make the tournament. Then sophomore year, after just 4 games, suffered a shoulder injury, needing surgery, missing the remainder of the season, having 2 shoulder surgeries in 3 years for the 19-year-old, quickly became forgotten and doubted. Many questioned whether his NBA's future is in jeopardy, but Dunn made the biggest comeback in all of college hoops. His 3rd year in Providence, burst out, averaging nearly 16, 6, and 8, 2.7 steals, won Big East Player of the Year, and also Conference Defensive Player of the Year for back-to-back seasons. Drafted by the Timberwolves, not the most ideal place. Having newly acquired coach Tom Thibodeau wasn't a fan of playing young players, Dunn found himself spending most of his first year on the bench, a lackluster 3.8 point average backing up Ricky Rubio, then traded in the Jimmy Butler package. As many forgotten about his past injuries, Dunn reminded everybody how often he was banged up, dislocated his finger in preseason, missed 30 total games in year 2, but solid numbers of 13.4 points, 6 assists and 2 steals, 29 minutes with the rebuilding Bulls, looked like the player he was in college. But his 3rd season, a sprained MCL, missed 36 games, simply couldn't catch a break, got benched by Thomas Satoransky, very inconsistent jumper, had plenty of turnovers, his defense terrific, supposed to be the future of the Bulls. The horrific fall in 2018, broke a tooth into the hardwood of the United Center, sprained his MCL January 31st, 2020 against the Nets, 453 days to his next NBA game. Because of COVID, then the shutdown, his rehab process delayed, would take 15 long months. Despite not being in many games, Dunn even received a few defensive team votes. His upside is supposed to be promising, but remembered as one of the most injury-prone point guards who got unlucky. Decided to sign with the Hawks, played just 4 games for the 21 season, needing ankle surgery to remove a loose cartilage with ankle, knee, and back issues at the same time. Dunn had the luxury of sitting out a long time in college to fully heal and get his spot back, but being unavailable too often in the NBA, if there's one thing many young players can learn from being a pro, 60 new hungry kids get drafted every year. Many more find their way into the league, looking to land a roster spot and earn life-changing wealth. The NBA wastes no time to wait around for guys. If you're just too banged up often, guys like Lonzo Ball might find himself out the league before we know it. Just look at what happened to the Jabari Parkers of the world. There's only so much chance they get. Dunn finally able to suit up towards the end of the season, just under 2 minutes in Game 4 worse than Knicks in the playoffs, then the conference finals, 5 total postseason games, mostly garbage time, passed around like a hot potato, traded to Boston in a 3-team deal, then 5 weeks later to Memphis, only to get waived before the 22 season. It wasn't until March 14 did Dunn end up signing 2 10-day contracts, then for the remainder of the season for Portland, had some moments, but way too small of a sample size to tell if he's worth a multiple-year deal for a team tanking their butts off. The final few weeks that season, Dunn's numbers of 7.6 points, 5.6 assists, 24 minutes, his record with the Blazers 1-13, his production didn't quite matter. Blazers fans remember Dunn as their ultimate tank commander, only to land 6th overall pick Shaedon Sharpe, continued to have a fluky jumper, 2 MCL injuries, didn't have a whole ton of postseason experience, played for the Capital City Go-Go, affiliate for the G League Washington Wizards, 20 regular season games, numbers of over 16, 5 and 5, 2.6 steals, then 13 games for the Showcase Cup, put up 14, 6 and 6 over 2 steals, numbers he should be putting up in the NBA by now. One thing he's continued to improve, the important jump shot that can open up new doors to rebrand his image. After years of struggling with his mechanics, unlike other stubborn guys who think they're too cool to improve, Dunn's been spending the last few years watching film by consulting other players, collected shooting tips from Bogey Bogdanovic, Kevin Huerter, and Trae Young, even reached out to old college teammates while he was recovering. His G League shooting numbers severely improved, over 41 from 3, incredible progress. Some games get 6 to 7 steals, only a handful of guys in the entire league has Kris Dunn's anticipation. Now appears to be 100% healthy, leaving his injuries behind. Many in Dunn's position could have folded and said to heck with this game. Dunn already made over $27 million in NBA salary, took his time in the G League seriously. Hard work simply paid off. Received NBA interest late February, while before the All-Star break, many haven't thought about Dunn in months. The Jazz picked him up for a 10-day after trading away Mike Conley and waiving Russell Westbrook, while losing Colin Sexton to injury. Before All-Star festivities, reunited with former Bulls teammate Larry Marketing, both played well together, already had chemistry before the messy coaching changes and injuries. February 23rd, a 1-point win over OKC, scored 11 points, 2 steals in under 17 minutes, followed by a stellar 15-point, 8-assist game versus San Antonio, 7 of 13 from the field, got into a skyfall with Jeremy Sohan, reminding everybody he's still in the NBA, made some late game plays and took over. His first time scoring 15 in an NBA game since January 20th, 2020. Looked like he didn't miss a beat. Easily the best he's looked since pre-bubble. Netted 11 points each of the following 2 games. Losses to San Antonio and OKC. Scored 17 on 3 of 4 from deep. Most comfortable he's looked from downtown. If Dunn can become somewhere between a 34 to 37% 3-point shooter, will certainly have a place in the NBA. That'll earn him a multi-year contract. His ability to get to the basket, floaters near the paint, pure, continue to be consistent, something he truly lacked from previous teams. Earned a second 10-day deal, found himself being a key contributor. The shooting remained good, not turning the ball over, barely making any mistakes. Compared to other 29-year-olds in the league, Dunn has very little NBA mileage on his legs, not even 260 total games in. Might not turn out to become the star many thought he'd be as the 5th pick. Utah would be wise to offer him a solid deal anytime now. The defensive efforts off the bench, combined with the capabilities, already been a starter. Still a good athlete, high motor, and one of the rare point guards who actually try on defense, almost like a free safety out there. Many Jazz fans approve of Dunn's first couple games, way better than Talen Horton-Tucker right now. A lot of news regarding Dunn's future could be determined the next couple days. Most importantly, needs to stay healthy and continue balling out. His defensive abilities, reminding everybody the on-ball defense impact with the 6'10 wingspan, super deadly. Utah's decision can decide if Dunn can finally find an NBA home to produce, or continue bouncing from team to team in short-term deals and never having the chance to showcase his true role. Dropped a dozen points, 9 rebounds and 3 steals in a comeback win over the Magic, bodied the hell out of Jalen Suggs. Dunn no longer looks like a one-dimensional player. First 7 games, averages of over 12.5 points, 4 and 4, over 54% shooting, and steady from 3, huge improvements already. Shooting over 50% every game thus far, continues to be a pest on D. From reports, lots of positivity for the former Providence Friar, good friends with all-star Marketing, who could very well accidentally end up becoming Utah's franchise player, with young head coach Will Hardy and Dunn's defensive energy having rookie defensive sensation Walker Kessler. The Kris Dunn resurrection hasn't been talked about enough, only a matter of time till many catch on. An easy guy to root for, a hell of a roller coaster ride NBA journey so far. Health and consistency needs to continue playing a part of his rejuvenation. If the Jazz don't resign him, Kris Dunn will be an attractive name in free agency. From tough upbringings, playing ball at 9 years old, even against older 15-year-old kids for money. so he can get himself and his family a meal to eat for the table, knowing he didn't have money. Winning was the only option. If there's anybody who dealt with real adversity and have the mentality to bounce back, look no further than Christopher Michael Dunn. A fascinating 2023 NBA redemption story to be continued. Thanks so much for watching. Love y'all. See you next time.